Greetings and welcome to the Federation's Facebook Live session. My name is Sada Nino and I am a senior statewide trainer at the Federation for Children with Special Needs. And today I have the great privilege of speaking and having a conversation with one of my friends and dearest colleagues, Mary-Beth Landy. And today we're going to be focusing on growth. We're going to have a conversation with Mary-Beth about her personal and professional growth journey. And I'd like to introduce Mary-Beth to you all. Mary-Beth, share a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. And everybody may have recognized me from doing Facebook Live presentations as well, but I am here as a guest, so slightly different slant for today. I started with my knowledge about the Federation actually when I was working as a family partner for Riverside Community Care, working with families who had children with mental health issues. And we needed to find for a family, a low-income family, an advocate. And so someone else recommended that I contact the Federation, which I did, and they work as much with professionals as they do with parents. We did eventually tie the parents in as well, but be able to try and find some assistance through the call center with the family at the time. This goes back years. And that started my trajectory on working with the call center, on answering questions about special education. I had a personal understanding of special education because I had two now grown children who had developmental childhood trauma, who were both on IEPs at school, that I would serve as the advocate parent out of between myself and their other mom, in understanding and how to develop their IEP to meet their needs. But it was nice to have the background and the resources to go to ask questions. And I worked in that position for a couple of years and then ended up having to have some knee surgery done and decided it was time for a change. And the logical place for me at that point was to go and take the PCTI, Parent Consultant Training Institute class. So I had done that in September. And one of the things that I found so beneficial was volunteering in the call center. It was a quick drive for me because I lived right outside of Boston. So I could go in a couple of days a week and help in the call center. And it was just a great opportunity to continue learning and to also tie my vast knowledge of children with mental health issues and trauma with social and emotional IEPs, which was something that was not greatly understood by a lot of people in the call center or a lot of people coming through the call center. And I did that actually for about a year and a half. And the person who was running the call center actually had resigned and was going on to get her doctorate. So she had was leaving the call center. And at the time it was being run by Julie Sinclair, who was also running PCTI, was the director of PTI, and asked if I would be interested. And I submitted to them a proposal of working part-time in the call center so that I could also work doing some advocacy work on the side and consulting with parents and developing their own children's IEP and understanding the special needs of their own children. So I did that. I started at the call center, which was just interesting because I already knew everyone at the Federation. So I still remember my first day walking around being introduced to everybody was just a little strange because I already knew who they were and what they did. But it was protocol to do that at the time. And it just continued to develop for me to be able to utilize people in the Federation and the different aspects that we have in our multiple projects of the 13 projects we had at the time. And since then have continued working collaboratively with other projects and have been utilized continually by the call center, particularly around children with social and emotional issues or mental health issues, and continued working with my own children's developing their own IEP and 504s when they went to college. It was actually a funny story when when one of my children entered high school, and we sat down for her transition IEP meeting at the high school. The team chair, it happened to be, I didn't know it at the time, it was her first time ever chairing a meeting. And when she found out that I worked for the Federation for Children with Special Needs, she was panicked. She just thought, oh my goodness, what am I up against? And after, when she left, she said, I learned so much from you. And to me, that's part of what we're called to do, is to pass it on and pass on our knowledge and empower people we work with, whether it be parents or professionals, that, empower them with the knowledge of what they can do. And I continued, I've worked for the call center for 2.5 years. And then an opening came up for me personally professionally, in RTSC, which is the Recruitment Training and Support Center for Special Education Surrogate Parents. And yes, that title fits on our business card. And I started working for them as their training and support specialist, working under Renee Williams, who's the director, and I have been there ever since. And I'm now the senior trainer and statewide trauma trainer for RTSC.
Wow, it sounds like you have been everywhere in the Federation, and I just really am so grateful for you sharing your story of how you came to know the Federation initially as an external professional and advocate, and coming to the Federation with your questions as a partner. As I like to say, you can't know everything, right? And so it's really about understanding who is out there and how we can work together to support one another. And then how you then started working at the information center, where we get a lot of requests from families, professionals just like you, reaching out and really connecting people with the resources that the Federation, information that the Federation has, and how you then also to continue to expand by participating in PCTI, which is what you and I are working on together with Ingrid Arvidsson and Andrea Parker, collaboratively putting together, and how PCTI has a component of it, which is, again, this kind of all around support. And you have so many different individuals that participate in PCTI. You have parents with their wealth of knowledge, skills, and experiences. You have professionals, you have people from school districts, you have people from external organizations coming together. And it's such a wonderful environment for everyone to not only engage in these interactive presentations, but these really enriching dialogues that really help build your knowledge, your skills, your awareness of special education topics, and also to people. I love the way that you said, I'm applying this to my own children. What I'm seeing here, what I'm learning here, it's living in my life, because this is part of why I am motivated, and what motivates me to learn more and to grow more. And then now that you are, working in RTSC and supporting another program as well, another growth program at the Federation, which is special education surrogate parents. And that's another opportunity for growth, and just how we are collaborating together to also bring that to as an element of PCTI as well. And Mary-Beth, I just really want to thank you for sharing some of your experience and your growth. And I just absolutely love that we are friends and colleagues, and that we can continue to grow together and support each other. And we hope to support you too out there who are watching this Facebook video, because the Federation really is a place of support. And PCTI, which is being offered in 2 sessions for summer 2021. The first is somewhat like the previous, before the current pandemic session, which was a 5-day intensive. It runs approximately from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, June 21st through 25th. We have interactive presentations. We have networking opportunities to get to know one another. This is something that I know that parents as well as educational professionals have taken advantage of in the past. It's also a great place to exchange, contact information, levels of knowledge of programs and services that are out there. It's a great networking opportunity. We also have an asynchronous version, which will take the recordings of those presentations and present them asynchronously so participants can access them over 4 weeks. And we will have little assignments that are due weekly, but we will also be encouraging dialogue amongst participants. We will have opportunities to interact and to ask questions about all of the content that's presented. And so we hope that you will be able to join one of these 2 sessions. If you're more of a live I'd like to be engaged in the conversation that's happening now, we highly recommend that you register. There are still spots open for our synchronous live session, again, June 21st through 25th. And then we have our synchronous option, or our asynchronous option, which is the recordings that you can access, that are more convenient at more convenient times for you throughout the day. And also too, there is going to be an interactive component. We also have interns and volunteers that are helping facilitate those interactive online discussions that happen asynchronously as well. So thank you so much for joining us for this Facebook live session. And Mary-Beth and I'm speaking for Mary-Beth. Mary-Beth and I, we hope that you'll reach out and we get to work with you very soon.
Thank you very much.